So,
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
yeah, it is. Bunker Omega is not in the zone of contamination, obviously. No, the final objective of the Last Horizon tale, the final tale in Tales from the Far territory, takes us all the way back to where we began, in the Forsaken airfield. Yeah, we're going all the way back to the beginning, if that was not abundantly clear. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So I have just arrived back here at this handy cabin near the exit, which I'm very happy to be near. Actually, I'm going to pick that right back up, and what we're going to do is put some of this meat, but we can't actually put anything in that until we have this cooking. But we have some deer meat, and I need to kind of nurse myself back to full health for a moment here before I go anywhere. But we're on our way out of this zone. We spent a lot of time exploring this zone. We finally got to a point where we knew exactly how to get to the central point of the zone, which eluded me longer than I like to admit, but understandably so. And now we are on our way back to, again, where we all began, which is such an interesting and unexpected turn. Speaking of interesting and unexpected turn of events, there's Fire Starting 5. Hey! It's been so long since I've gotten that. No lie. I need to check the benefits. All right. Yeah, I've known about that, but fires last 50% longer, fires start 50% faster, and 90% chance to start fires. Nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, so those are going to be ready shortly. I think while we wait for those to cook, I want to go ahead and get some more wood. Okay, they're both cooked. We definitely need to keep this fire going for the near term, so we're going to do that. Also, it looks like some water would be nice, so we're going to take a look at that. I guess I'll go ahead and get this going, and what I can do is, the weather is not fantastic outside, but I can go outside and get a little bit more meat off this deer without losing too much health. Probably. The good news is there are some sticks, which is quite nice. It's good for keeping the fire going. Let me not lose my bearings, though. That's already happened out here once. Alright, now... yeah, it looks like we can get away with 14 minutes. We might lose a few % of condition here, but I'm willing to eat it. No pun intended.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Yes, you have. Matter of fact, you've probably been colder. Let's be honest. Okay, so now we have some non-potable water there. I'm going to go ahead and place some more of the deer meat. Right there. And we have this cured maple sapling, which I will go ahead and grab. That way I've actually picked that back up at long last. No, I did not remember that was there. I cannot take credit for remembering that was there. I looked down and was like, oh, that's a cured maple sapling that I probably meant to pick back up at a previous visit, and completely spaced. It's been a chaotic couple of months. So, speaking of that, for those of you watching in the live audience, we are going to have back-to-back episodes this weekend to make up for kind of a light week content-wise. So, you know, we're doing every other day normally on the channel now, but when things get crazy, I have the ability, since we're doing that, to scrunch the schedule up and do a couple of days in a row just to make up for any kind of lull in content. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have an episode today, we're going to have an episode tomorrow, and then we'll have an episode on Tuesday and Thursday of this week. For those of you watching in the live audience, for those of you watching in the backlog, enjoy the next episode. Okay, so that water is potable. Let's go ahead and drink it. And we can get the other deer steak cooking.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
That's going to be 19 minutes. And frankly, we have more stuff that we need to hack up in here, but it's going to take... I'm just going to need to be careful. Okay, both of those are cooked. Let's go ahead and add a bit more to the fire. And I may as well get some more water going. The main thing is that I have enough food and water to keep me completely well fed and ready to go while I'm also staying here and recovering condition. That's the objective. That's all I really care about. Alright, so this might be a little different than last time. Actually, it looks a little better than last time. We may not actually lose any condition. Yeah, it's actually, because we're getting later in the day, that is helping temperature-wise, which is a thing. It's absolutely a thing. Even though we've got a blizzard, overall, it's getting warmer later in the day, just because of overall ambient heat. At least in the simulation, that's how it's treated, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and put that on the fire. And then we will just...
This pack is getting kind of
yeah.
heavy.
Thankfully, I'm going to be able to... What I want to try and do is basically use as much energy as I possibly can so that I can rest for a significant chunk of time. Speaking of significant chunks of time, is there anything else... Nothing else I can do at the moment. My clothing's actually in pretty good shape. All things considered. So no complaints there. So I just really want to cook this meat as quickly as I can. We'll pass time here. We'll take a bite of that. Now all of this has been cooked, so what we need to do is just put it outside. Because I don't need to carry all that around. Okay, so that's going to be done in 9 minutes. The fire has 3 hours left on it, which is perfect. We'll go ahead and eat just a piece of this, but most of that will remain, which we can then just go right outside and drop it there. Okay, now, yeah, let's go ahead and get a few more deer steaks, because that fire is not going anywhere, thankfully. Oh, nice. This is the entire deer. So we only need 12 minutes. We get 1 full steak and like 1 half steak or so. Almost exactly. It'll be a 2.2 and a 1.5. So what we'll do is we'll put the... yeah, here's the 1.5. We'll put that one on the bare surface. Nice. And we have cooking time about even there. So while that's going... I mean, do I need to keep the fire going for any reason? How much water do I have? Probably not. Let's just go ahead and pass time. I'm going to grab both of these off the stove. Oops. That's what I meant to do. Now, we can make some additional rosehip tea. So I'll do that at least. Because you never know when something like that might come in handy. I'm not going to put it in the thermos or anything, or the... Sorry. The insulated flask. Because there's no reason to. I'm going to be here for the night, recovering health, etc. Okay. So it looks like I have prepared everything. Well, I might not have actually prepared everything. Yeah, I've got some reishi mushrooms I can prepare, and I have some rosehips I can prepare. Alright, let's go ahead and drink that. And we probably need to get a little bit more water made with this fire. Best way to do that would be put some on, and then while we're doing that, reishi mushrooms. We should have a decent amount of condition recovery once we're done with all of this. And we get to sleep. Alright, so potable water, let's drink that. I want to try to get out of here with like half a gallon. It's a lot, I know. It's a lot, but it's worth it. I'm just going to keep that steak on me because there's no reason not to. Okay. Now my cooking pot is, well, let's be honest, there are multiple cooking pots in this world. I can find another one. My current cooking pot is all the way back at the base where I was hanging out previously. Sitting on top of the stove, right where I left it. Nice. And I'm not going to go back and get it. I don't feel like I need it. So at this point, we've got 30 minutes left on the fire. Let me see if I have the ability. I don't think I do. Oh, here's some rosehip tea in this one, so I can go ahead and put that away. So we've got a couple of flasks of rosehip tea. Did I not make that other tea? I guess I didn't. Because I would have been able to put it in a thermos there. Insulated flask. Sorry. Alright, let's go ahead and close that. And we're going to sleep for, it looks like, about 8 hours. Might have a few pixels left. This is why I usually like to round up, even though it seems absurd. Nope, that's a full amount of rest. Nice. Now, unfortunately, it's the middle of the night, and we are fully rested. So what I'm going to have to do is just subsist on this stuff. And then pass, look at that, look at those full meters, that's a beautiful thing. Alright, let's go ahead and pass 5 hours of time. We've got plenty to eat. It's time to hit the road. My favorite thing about doing all of this in the exact spot where we're currently doing it is getting out of this zone is like a beeline. That doesn't mean that I remember the way, like, precisely, but we're close to the exit. So, I'm happy about that. Okay, let's see. Now, I could technically sleep. I would rather, to tell you the truth, I know it's a little bit odd, but I'd rather... Oh, great, we've got some glimmer fog. Yeah, so there's no sense sleeping at the moment if there's glimmer fog. Well, it's insomnia that would actually prevent us from sleeping, obviously. Right now we just have insomnia risk. Oh, just kidding. There's insomnia. Well, that's going to make fully recovering condition a little bit more bothersome. Let's take a quick look at my clothing. See if there's anything. I've got these tactical gloves, which, frankly, I don't, like... I don't want them. I guess if I fully repaired them, because I didn't realize they weren't fully repaired. Let's do that. Let's see what their condition is when they're at full condition. Like, when they're... Sorry, not what their condition is. What their stats are. 3.7, 3.1. Alright, they're very nice against wind. And they're less restrictive and less heavy than gauntlets. I don't know. But gauntlets are also... Like, those are not at perfect condition right now. I've got a balaclava that I'm not wearing. Let's go ahead and harvest that. So the glimmer fog is what is currently lighting this place up. Love it. I'm just kidding. I don't love it. Because now I have insomnia, and I can't recover condition the way that I would like. Because the game's being a jerk. Can we just discuss for a moment that, like, this has actually happened pretty rarely since I've been in this zone? It hasn't happened that often. There hasn't been a lot of glimmer fog, a lot of insomnia. It's happened a few times. But how hilarious is it that that affliction would rear its ugly, annoying head right now, 15 minutes into this episode, as I'm preparing to leave. It's a little rude. It's inconsiderate. We've also drank most of our water. So I'm regretting not making more. But I have plenty of food. That's the good news. Some of these steaks were partially consumed, though, so it's hard to tell sometimes when picking them up. It would be nice if there was a partially consumed model, you know? You would think after all the years that we've been looking at that particular model, they would have added one that's had some, like, bites taken out of it. That would make a lot of sense. And who knows, that might get added to the Long Dark before the Long Dark is finished, but that's the kind of change that I don't suspect they're going to make as much time for anymore going forward. Like new modeling. I don't imagine that it would take a huge amount of time. Okay, let's go ahead and sleep for... I'm going to say 8 hours. We're probably not going to get 8 hours. It's going to wake us up pretty rudely here. Because insomnia. Oh? Maybe not. Okay. That's actually not bad. Let's drink some water. We're going to have to pass some time. That is lovely. I was not expecting that. Okay, so... yeah, pass time for 5 hours. Weather doesn't... let's say 6. Weather doesn't sound great. We have passive condition recovery, so we're getting a little bit more health back while we do this. We will sleep when we're done with this, and then have a decent amount of health. But right now it sounds like there's a blizzard outside, so it's going to be kind of difficult to move. Again, what's interesting about where we are now is that I kind of know exactly where I'm going. Alright, let's go ahead and harvest these crappy torches. Do a little bit of inventory management prior to leaving. I mean, we're not encumbered, which is nice, but one of the reasons we're not encumbered is we actually don't have as much water as we plan to leave with. Alright, let's get 3 hours of sleep. That was an unnecessary roundup. Nice. Okay, so that sounds an awful lot like a blizzard outside. Yeah, it is one. Great. Okay, so it is still morning. With any luck, you know what? You know what? Screw it. I need water. And if you're going to make me wait because of a blizzard, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside. I'm going to look for sticks. Going to try and keep my bearings. Not terribly worried about getting too cold out here. I just want to have enough to get a fire going that will get me the water that I need. And this should. Hey, reishi mushrooms. Don't care. Don't care. Not a single solitary care in the world. Let's eat that. That was definitely one of the full steaks. So, like, funny enough, that one deer didn't really get me that far. It didn't.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Jennifer, the fire cheerleader. I'm surprised they still haven't fixed this bug. Can we talk about this? Look at this. 100%. 1 of 1. Like, the count is overlapping. It's just such an obvious user interface bug, and it's been in the game for a couple of patches now. It surprises me. Alright, this is a really easy way to pass time while we wait for this storm to pass, and I'm really hoping it passes quickly. I was kind of hoping it would pass while I was... Alright, not thirsty. Yep, let's just do that again. Because as long as this storm is going, I can't go anywhere. I keep hearing the wind get a little quieter when I pass time, which obviously it always does. And I get excited. 51 minutes. That's going to be the last water we get out of this fire. And this should hopefully get us all the way through. Can't break that down. What about this crate? 30 minutes? Yeah, let's do that.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, now speaking of cans and inventory management, that's one thing I can definitely drop as well. So we're going to drop all of the cans. I guess the silver lining to this, we'll pick that one up and keep it. The silver lining to this is that we're going to recover a bit more condition than I would have otherwise. So maybe the game is quietly helping me out. And there goes the storm. Beautiful. Okay. Still sounds windy and unpleasant. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Alright, let's get moving. We've already been down this way once because we did check for that lantern. Not very long ago at all, just to see if we could find it. Couldn't find it. R.I.P. It's a shame. At least it was a normal lantern and not like a special lantern. Not the kind that you find and are really excited because it's rare and you don't find too many of those even when you search most of the world like we have in this playthrough. Because this is, just to be clear, it was a long playthrough. We've been at this. We've been at this for a minute and a half. That's a wolf. I actually don't think I have any bandages, so if I were to sprain right now... it would be highly annoying. Okay, so I need to... The one thing I'm not sure of as I head this way is the exact way... Oh, that might actually be it. I was going to say, one thing I'm not sure of is the exact way that I get back up out of this ridge, but I think I'm looking at it. Because I think that's where I came in. Let's see. Hi, bunnies. Don't mind me. Actually, one thing I'm going to do while I'm right here is I'm going to check the cattails on this stream. I've probably already harvested them, if there are any to speak of. Oh, it actually ends. That was unexpected. Insomnia is gone. Nice. Yeah, this is it. I see lots of sticks down there, but I'm not going to worry about that because I don't need to drive up my encumbrance as I'm getting ready to leave. I think this is the exit. That's the cave where I was hanging out. I think this is the exit. Yeah. Yeah. Because when I came in, I was up on a ridge, and I found my way up that road, and then I realized I couldn't actually get to that structure. Remember, it kind of baited me when I first came in the very first episode? And I had to find my way around. We got here quick. I was really, really surprised. And we spent the entire series here, which has been a lot of fun. I'll be curious to see not only what the ending of the tale brings us. I have no idea. I have not even a hint of a spoiler, which is nice, and I appreciate that. Y'all have been great about letting me experience it, and letting the viewers who are experiencing it for the first time through the channel experience it. So, thank you on their behalf as well. Because sometimes, you know, you love a game like The Long Dark and you want to play it, but you're busy either because you're playing something else or you don't have time to play, or maybe it's nostalgia and you haven't played it in a while, but you still like watching content creators play it. So when new content comes out, you don't necessarily
I can't feel my feet.
Play it yourself.
I wonder if I can drop any of this
You know?
here.
It doesn't work that way. You watch other people play it, even though you've never played it yourself, and even though it's story content. Obviously not everyone's that way, but some people are. Say hello in the comments if that's you. Alright, so as I recall, this is quite a long kind of trip. The good news is we are protected from the wind in this crevasse. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't grab any of the deer meat for the road. Should have chowed down on all of it before I left. I was ready to go. I was so ready. So we have no food. We have tea, so like, we definitely have calories. But we're going to have to do some hunting. At the very least, ptarmigan. But preferably rabbit or deer. But of course we can also do bear, moose, or wolf. If necessary. Alright, so we've got lots of scrub brushes here. Man. It is surreal how long this walk is. This is all in the transfer pass. So you feel like you're just climbing up to this elevation. And it's not a feeling, you definitely are. But it's the most intense, like consistently upward movement kind of trip. It feels like in like all of the Long Dark. With the only exception being maybe getting up to the top of the mountain in the zone itself. Which, of course, we did do. Anything back here? This kind of seems just like a spot to hang out. Yeah. Just a spot to hang out. Got any acorns? No, I don't. Okay. There's a stick, though. I'll take that. There's some acorns. Every little bit helps. Oh, man. I don't even remember this portion of things. Now, we are about to be cold. We're already cold, but we're about to be actually freezing to death, slowly but surely. So we need to get inside. Sooner than later. And I frankly don't need my rifle out right now, but there's no reason not to have it out. At the moment, anyway. Alright, there's the hypothermia risk. Guess I'll put that away. Let's get moving a little bit faster, just not only to move the episode along, but also I can't be up here freezing forever. I just regained all that condition. I would hate to regain it for nothing, especially because the Forsaken Airfield trip is not a short one. You know, we have a long trip out of this zone and a long trip back into the Forsaken Airfield, and on top of that, because we've already harvested the cattails and all that, that's why we're going to have to do some hunting. Because where's our food going to come from? There's not an obvious answer to that question at the moment. Okay, stick. Got to pick them all up. Them's the rules. Okay. Man, I've only been through here one time, so this just feels new again, because it's been so long since I first came through. Alright, so we do have a climbing point, and I was pretty sure we would. So all that stuff I've picked up, I'm going to have to drop some of it. Nice. Alright, so we can at least tell that we are close to the bottom. Alright, so let's drop all the sticks. We'll drop the scrap metal. The reclaimed wood, I would like to try to hold on to, so let's see what else I can get away with. Oh, you know what? I've got all these cardboard matches that I don't need. I needed to drop those for a while, to be honest. I mean, I don't need the tactical gloves. It just, it feels so wrong to, like, drop such a special loot item. It just feels wrong. It feels like an injustice. Okay. I don't want to drop reclaimed wood, but at this point, that's what makes the most sense to drop. Perfect. Yeah, it's a shame. Oh look, there's some stuff at the bottom now. That looks like... Okay, that's an upgrade. We're fine. That's a bunch of sticks, coal, and other stuff that we left behind, including... Oh wow, that's hilarious. That is... Oh my god. Oh, there's even water. There's even water. Get out of here. There's even... What is happening? Hold on. All this stuff that I dropped. Oh my. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pick it all back up. I don't care. I don't care. What the heck? That's so many stems. Why? And of course the water's not frozen. Because the long dark. It's been sitting out here forever, not frozen at all. That's another thing. So I think that would be two things that would make a lot of sense. Two things I've mentioned in one episode that would make a lot of sense as quality of life, you know, realism kind of upgrades that aren't currently in the long dark. One, partially eaten meat. So when it's been partially consumed, you can tell that you're picking up the one that's been partially eaten. Two, when you leave a bottle of water sitting in the snow for weeks, it should freeze. Because it's not alcohol, it's water. That's a fairly straightforward proposition, Legion. I can't really see Raphael arguing with it. Really? 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 Yeah, I can't expect to hit everything when I'm cold, I know, but it's right there. And I'm losing health. At least we're on the road again. But I want to try and get that bunny at least. Thank you.
This'll come in handy.
4.34 pounds, not bad. That's one thing we've always been able to say about the Long Dark. The shooting is considerably more challenging than your average FPS. I remember the way that Raphael balked years ago when I suggested, other people may have suggested this too, I'm not taking credit at all, that the rock throwing have a bit of aim assist. And the kind of aim assist that I was thinking of was the kind that existed in the game I was playing at the time that made me think of this. It was Assassin's Creed Origins. So the way that would work is if you aimed at a character's head with your bow, you wouldn't have to lead if that character was moving. The character would take care of the lead for you. So all you would have to do is precisely aim at the head and fire. So you would have to aim precisely, but you wouldn't necessarily have to take care of the leading the target yourself. And so that's kind of what I suggested. I don't know if that's what's actually in the Long Dark, but they did end up adding, the sort of aim assist for the rock throwing because of how ridiculous the rock throwing can be at times. And I think that's actually a tunable setting as well. Alright, so pretty hungry. You'll recall that there are no predators in this zone, so I'm not worried about the dead rabbit that I'm carrying attracting attention. So I'm very purposely walking through this area. To see if there are any cattails that I happen to miss. Not that I suspected that I missed any, because let's be honest, I don't miss cattails. But just wanted to check. And there may still be some areas elsewhere in this zone that I could find some, or find a rabbit or some ptarmigan. So I've got something to eat, which is nice. And now we're indoors where it's going to be somewhat warm. I will have to find some... Well, actually, no, I won't, because I left some sticks at the bottom of that particular cliff that I just arrived at the bottom of. That was such a clutch find. I was not expecting to find that stuff that I'd already left behind, but I did. We will go ahead and stop this episode here, and the next one we're going to turn right around and go back up to the Forsaken Airfield after I've got this food in me, and make our way towards Bunker Omega as quickly as possible. And then beyond that, I mean, the series will technically be concluded, so we'll have to see whether or not we continue far beyond that point. I don't know that there's a lot more exploration that needs to be done, but you can let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And I'm just going to keep recording today, so we'll kind of see where the journey takes us. I'm open to playing the series longer, but I'm also open to starting a new series in the Long Dark and in other games, if that would be the more compelling sort of feeling for me and for you. So in the process of thinking about that as we speak. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along for early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges. Look for the join button. New episodes drop at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below. And I'll see you next time.